Oh shit. Go wait for some of y'all to get in here, man. A peace to everybody. And hopefully everybody comes up in here and that notification game kicks in, man. So what's up to everybody that's coming in here? Please make sure that you share. And please make sure you hit that like button. Please, please, please make sure you share, please. Please make sure they got that notification. Please make sure you share. And please hit that like button, man. But peace to everybody that's coming in here tonight, man. All right, appreciate you. So we're gonna get into a lot of things, right? But some people was asking why was he under that tent when he don't supposed to be there or whatever. But y'all should know, or some people must know, that it was raining that day. So that was one of the reasons why he was in there, right? But why white people, or I'm gonna say the Caucasian society, why they are the main ones who claim self-defense and stand your ground, even when the situation look crooked as hell, y'all stand on it and get justice. But when we do it, we get vilified and it's a problem. And you know how they talk about black people growing up in broken homes and so forth and so on, right? All this stigma that's against us. And then let me say this before I play this video. There's a lot of people in the Caucasian society that grew up in broken homes, that their father wasn't there. It's just not highlighted like that, but it's there. But this is why they really mad. Again, everybody that's coming in here, please make sure you share. All right? Please make sure you hit the like button. All right? But let's get right into it, man. Let's go right here, man. And I like how Shorty broke this down. And let me zoom in it a little bit more. All right. Tana Marie, thank you for the first one for typing in here. Just do me a favor, love, if you don't mind. Please make sure you share, sweetheart. I would gladly appreciate you. And absolutely, there is a lot. And for those, hey, Queen Bee, please make sure you share too as well, love. I appreciate you. And me, I really like a lot of like Fatal Attraction. I like the crime stories and shit like that. I haven't watched Snapped in a minute, but I watch a lot of that stuff. And you see a lot of these stories, and even I can't even say too much. Even somebody on my job, a white girl, you know what I mean? But I'm not even going to say because a couple of people from this town watch, so I don't want to make things too conspicuous. But everybody grows up. A lot of white people grew up in broken homes, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, a lot of the Caucasian people from the Caucasian society really thought that this dude was a thug. He didn't have a 2-parent home. He grew up in the hood. He had a criminal record, so forth and so on. But I'm glad that this person found their pictures because I was looking for it, God damn it. But let's get right into it. When I go talk your head off again, everybody, if you haven't, hit the like button. Please do, and please share. Let's get right to it, goddamn.
I noticed that a lot of people racist people specifically, were saying that Karmelo Anthony must not have had his father in his life, and his father must be a deadbeat, no good person to raise this thug, and that he must be living in the hood and not living good. So I wanted to share these family photos of Karmelo Anthony with his father, his mother, and his siblings, who actually have been together for over 17 years. His family has been together for over 17 years, okay? One mom, all 4 kids, same dad, very middle upper class family. Interesting, because I think a lot of racist people were saying that he didn't come from a loving family and that his father was probably in prison or a loser and had abandoned him when he was young because of the stereotypes that you guys hear about black people. The black father must not have been in the home. Well, it seems like his father loves him very much. And it seems like he was raised a good young man, whether you guys like it or not. But you know who came from a broken home? The Metcalf boys came from a broken home because their parents aren't together. And I think the question that I would want to know is, I wonder how coming from a home where the parents aren't together, how that would have affected the twins. I wonder.
Anthony, class of 2025, Centennial High School, Frisco, Texas. Nah, he low-key fast. Number one, low-key fast, dude. I might have to, if you play number two, I'm gonna have to lock in, I swear. Hey, bro, how much you think? What's the score? What's be the score? Yeah.
I don't know if I could play that that beat right there. I don't want no copyrights. But you can see he's like one or two, maybe three, maybe four black people in that school, maybe a few more. But at the end of the day, you know, that is a predominant white area. And if you look up the history of Frisco, as far as racism is concerned, it's a lot of racist people in Frisco. And we can't forget that this is Texas that we talking about. They still have sundown towns. But I'm not going to talk ahead, all right? Is a video that I put up last night. I was going to go live last night, but I was too exhausted because they've been working my ass. I got to go shit up. Anyway, so I did a video, put it on TikTok, right? And I ain't going to hold you. The numbers, it was good. It was like 5,000, about to reach 6,000, whatever. Less than 8 hours when I woke up. The shit was like, it was like getting out of here. And they removed it. And I'm going to show you the video. I don't know why. I think because I said that the way the white lady looked, the Caucasian lady, the way she looked it like old for her age, and she was probably 17. But I'm gonna play it right now. I want to get that out the way. We're gonna get to the a whole bunch of videos, but after this, we're gonna go right to the police report. But let me play this video real quick, right? Again, everybody, I appreciate you. If you don't mind, again, please make sure you share, and I will gladly appreciate your funky ass. All right. I know I haven't been on here in a minute, and I know I got to get back into algorithms and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Let's get it though. But look at her, man. Insane.
Karmelo Anthony was the instigator, not the victim.
Mm-hmm.
He walked into the tent where Austin's teammates were with a knife, intending to use it. Austin
all right, y'all can
told
see.
him to leave
All right,
for whatever reason, and because he said words, Karmelo opened his bag with a knife in it and threatened Austin by saying, "Put your hands on me and find out what happens," and then told Austin to punch him. Karmelo at that time became a threat, and Austin had a right to defend himself. So he tried to physically move Karmelo and his bag out of the tent, and Karmelo took the knife and stabbed him. Karmelo Anthony was not fearful for his life. He walked in that tent with a knife, intending to use it, and tried to provoke a fight with Austin Metcalf, and then stabbed Austin Metcalf when he tried to get.
But you see, I'm sorry, you see the double standards with the Caucasians from the Caucasian society, how they like to twist and bend the actual facts that actually happen. You understand what I'm saying? Are you listening to what she's saying? There's no way that this dude was not being targeted or was the aggressor. The dude, the twins was the aggressor. Y'all already know the story, but it's almost like I'm Caucasian and I say so. Whatever is all right because it's all white. So you know what I mean. And I'm trying not to. I have to be very careful now because even when you say white people, that could trigger something through YouTube and on especially TikTok as well. So it's kind of crazy right now. But it's so fascinating that they live this double standard life. I really try not to speak about race, but the more certain situations happen, they really show their ass. They show exactly who they are, and it's always a double standard. And don't ever in your life, respectfully, don't ever let, or I know we're not stupid, but for those who may come across this video, for those who think that this is a post-racial society, y'all absolutely, so something has to be mentally wrong with you, because we are not far removed from, Jim Crow. We're not far removed. So, but anyway, I was going to say more, but that'll be too much. But I'm going to bring it back a little bit. But this lady is crazy. She is making up shit. You know what I mean? She's making up how the situation happened. It's totally insane.
Put your hands on me and find out what happens. And then told Austin to punch him. Carmelo at that time became a threat, and Austin had a right to defend himself. So he tried to physically move Carmelo and his bag out of the tent. And Carmelo took the knife and stabbed him. Carmelo Anthony was not fearful for his life. He walked in that tent with the knife, intending to use it, and tried to provoke a fight with Austin Metcalf, and then stabbed Austin Metcalf when he tried to get Carmelo out of the tent. It was murder, not self-defense.
Look at how Trayvon Martin got killed by George Zimmerman and he got off. Claimed self-defense, even though he was the antagonist. He followed them and everything. It's funny how Rittenhouse crossed state lines with a rifle, talking about he wanted to kill people before, went there and killed 2 people and got off too. And the judge was saving his ass on the stand. Remember that, right? And the guy who snuck up behind the mentally challenged dude on the train, right? He wasn't even a threat to him, but he got off anyhow and claimed self-defense. He got a nice bag because the white people supported him and sent a lot of money on GoFundMe school. But now Carmelo Anthony, he was just minding his business of Jim Crow. The twin bullies. Austin and his brother, the twins, the big, tough, aggressive football players. He felt threatened. His life was in danger. He didn't know what to do. And he was scared for his life. So they aggressively grabbed his goddamn bag and stuff. And he told him, basically, don't touch my shit, or I dare you, or whatever the fuck the kid. I know what the hell he said, but goddamn it, he warned them, and he got what they got. So evidently, they felt they was going to take control of him. Anyway, white people think they are the face of justice. We are tired of that double standard shit. You know what I mean? I think it's justifiable when a white person does it, but when a black person does it, they vilify and criminalize that man. And y'all don't even have the capability of being logical when it comes down to race. You know what I mean? But if you made it this far in this video, thank you. But look at this lady. Look at this lady. Look at that. You know how old she is, y'all? Take a wild fucking guess. 17 probably. She looked like Ernest. Do y'all know that, right? Look, listen. Meth pipes, Jägermeisters, Virginia Slims, and Buck Bear just took a toll on her, man. Like, you got to stop. She wanted the spotlight. Well, here you go. How you got wrinkles around your mouth? Like what's up, man? But anyway, you're not the face of justice. There's nothing racial. But you have to understand, y'all do not and are not the face of justice and do not control the narrative of what justice is. Those days is over. So with that being said, the father knew and know that his twins' sons were literal bullies.
Look at their size. Excuse me. Look how big that they are. Now, what if it was the other way around? They're like, look how big they are against little old Austin. If the roles were reversed, it was 2 black twins and 1 white kid. Then let's just say, look at their size. You don't think he would have been intimidated? You just seen the video with him if he was on the track and field. He's a slim brother. These 2 is like they got cuts on. You know what I mean? Pause for the pauses. He's kind of built. You know what I mean? So you can imagine. Of course, he felt threatened. 2 of them, 2 of the same people with the same attitude. These niggas is really bigger than them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why they felt comfortable on touching his shit, because they was very aggressive. And again, I have to keep insinuating that the father knows that those kids are bullies. But let's continue. I'm almost done.
That's why he's taking because he know all the information is going to come out about them boys. So with that being said, make sure you follow me on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on goddamn TikTok. I'm out.
All right. So at the end of the day, the pops knows. They knows. Now we're gonna get into the the police report right now. But let me say this as I pull it up. The GoFundMe reached, I think it's like they moved it up from 100 something thousand. I mean 100 something thousand to 150,000, and now they want 300,000. But here's the thing. The people, the Caucasians from the Caucasian society, they literally band together and got the GoFundMe shut down. They got it shut down, and GoFundMe gave back them. This is what they say. I don't know how true it is, but I'll show y'all after the police report that GoFundMe sent all the money back to the donators because they don't help raise money for a person who is charged with violent crimes. But look at all Daniel, the dude that choked the dude in fucking in New York City. He got a lot of, I think, like over $1 million. Derek Chauvin that killed George Floyd, he got money. So this is what I'm saying. It's a double fucking standard. Double standards. Yes, to Tania. And shout out to my homegirl Tania, who I grew up with. Cause you just brought me back and made me think of her. Salute to you if you out there, Tania. Much love to you, baby girl. But that's insane. The double standard. Don't see. I hate talking about stuff like this, but it's hard not to. This is what I'm saying. Fuck what people just say. They so quick to say we're not like our ancestors and things of that nature. No, you are the grandchild. I see white people all the time. Old white people. You know what I be thinking when I be seeing them sometimes? You probably lynched the nigga already. You know what I mean? I don't want to go that far because I'm gonna go very far, and I'm trying to be very PC. I'm gonna try my best to be PC tonight. I'm gonna try my best to be very PC. But let's go to the goddamn what's the name before I lose focus and start getting all upset and shit. Okay, here we go. Let's get right to it. Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in and coming in. Please make sure please make sure you share. I don't be on here like that. Do me a favor, please share and hit that like button. And if you would like to donate, please show some love. But let's continue. You said y'all seen the pic of Austin holding the chopper on his lap. He had a gun. Yeah. I got that picture. Matter of fact, let me upload that right now for you. Hold on. Let me share this and let me upload that picture for you right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Please be patient. I'm gonna put those pictures up right now. Hold on, soldiers. All right. Hold on. All right. Okay. Hold on. Please be patient with me, y'all. Please work with me. Where we at, baby? Yeah, I'm just gonna put that picture too, because these dudes is big, man. Those some big kids. Them two twins, those some big motherfuckers. Boom. All right, the picture right there. Let me boom. There we go. Let me put that in there. Get them twins back in there. Get him in there. Hopefully it'll save it. Hold on, let's see. Okay. All right. It's saving the pictures. All right, so here's the picture right here. Boom. Here it is. Now, I try to look for this. I don't know how real true. I don't know if this is his actual page. Maybe so, but let's roll with it. But Austin Metcalf, I dare one of those monkeys to show up to the track meet today. Now, anybody could have made this up. I don't know. I'm not going to take it for face value, but what I will say, I wouldn't put it past them. But let's continue, right? Let's get right into it. And again, let me show this picture too while we here. Look how big that they are. Look how big they are. Let's just pay attention to that. Look how big them kids is, man. Look how big they are. They asked, why was he in the tent, under their tent? It's because it was fucking raining. And he know people, both schools, Centennial and Memorial High School, they all go to that field. That track and field belongs to multiple schools. I think it's only 2 or 3 schools within that whole district or county. He had every right to be there. Why didn't he have any right to be there? That's the question. Again, double standards. I'm not going to listen. This is going to be my first time right now reading this. Sometimes I like to just wait because I like the real reaction. So this is my first time right now reading this shit. So we're going to read it together. Let me blow this shit up. Let's get right to it because it's a few pages. So we're going to get right into it. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see it yourselves. Again, this is my first time right now. Right the fuck now. All right. Bam, 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 bam. We know his name. And oh yeah, the lawyer, what's his name? Dominic Alexander, some shit. We're gonna go to his I already got everything pulled up. I just want to get this out the way, right? Because his lawyer, he's a criminal activist. He's an activist or whatever in Texas, and he already spoke to the police department because the family is getting a lot of death threats. And I meant to say that at the beginning of this live stream, but we'll get more into that, right? But, let's go, y'all. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Again, hit that like button and let's get right into this shit. All right, and let me say this: I thought this was fake because I seen this last night, rather this morning, 1, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I said, let me wait. And then, as more and more came out, this is 100% authentic. All right? Because I didn't want to jump out the window yesterday. So I just waited. But let's go. Now, I'm going to read. All right. Eduardo Cortez, that is the officer. So, we already know the date. At 1,001 hours, whatever the hell you want to call it, Staley School Resource Officer E. Cortez heard over the radio dispatch call out a stabbing called at David Kuykendall Stadium. The FPD called notes indicated that an athlete was stabbed. The suspect was reported as being a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants. I immediately left my office and ran across the Stanley Middle School parking lot towards a southwest entrance into the stadium. As I entered the stadium, 2 high school age students informed me that the victim was on the north end of stadium by the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent. I did not identify these students. Next, I proceeded towards the north end of the stadium, visitor side, on foot. As I got closer to the end, I could see the Memorial High School tent with multiple individuals under the tent. Once I arrived onto the north side bleachers, an adult who was on the track pointed out the suspect. I was not able to identify that witness. Why is that? You didn't write his name down, but let's continue. The individual that was pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hooded sweater and dark colored night pants. The suspect at this point was on let's get it. Was on the track on the north end. All right, that's good right there. There was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. This is my first time. I'm not going to do too many interjections, but I would love to just interject right here. Off the fucking rip, I was protecting myself. There's multiple people that was there that videotaped what happened, y'all. Videotape what happened. Why the fuck that the officers never came out to speak yet? They never spoke. You know why? They are trying to literally go frame by frame. I'm really thinking they're gonna do some Kanika Jinka shit and alter the goddamn the video and shit. Like, the AI said you can just crop shit out. You can do a whole bunch of shit. But right off the rip, he said what? I was protecting myself. Keep that in mind. It should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. that's showing that he was protecting himself, man. I'm gonna try not to interject, man, because all of this racist stuff that's happening right now, these white people turned this more. White people made this very racial. It wasn't us. They made it. We're gonna go to some of their pages. It's ridiculous, and I gotta say it for you. But let's continue, man. I asked him if he had any weapons. He said no. I patted him down for weapons while we were walking along the fence. I did not locate any on his person. I instructed the male to continue walking along the fence, which he complied, towards an area where there was an opening in the fence that led off the track. While walking him off the track, the suspect also said he put his hands on me. This is my first time reading this shit, so don't blame me for some shit that you already read already. Kiss my ass. But he said he put his hands on me. I then detained the suspect in handcuffs, handcuffed behind his back, and had him sit down on the ground. At least he didn't beat him up. I give you that, Ricky Ricardo. Officer Ricky had arrived on the scene at that time. I conducted another pat down on his person and then searched his person after he gave me consent. No weapons were located. While the suspect sat on the ground, I advised that I had the alleged suspect. The suspect then responds and says, I'm not alleged. I did it. That's somebody who is taking full responsibility, knowing what he did. He didn't run off the campus, no, nothing. Because they would have said that we had to chase him down. He was hiding under some bushes and shit like that. He ran under the car. We had to catch him and all that, and then we detained him. No, he was very respectful. From the giddy up, it said out loud he did it. That is a responsible young man that is not guilty, and he had to literally defend himself. You understand what I'm saying? Because everything really starts when the police come on the scene and how that person initially act, because that could play out in court. And you know they be having those, oh shit, look, what about the fucking the camera that's on the fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's not coming out right, but the police camera, where's that footage? You understand what I'm saying? But his initial reaction after the situation, he was very compliant, very forthcoming, and saying that he did it, but they put their hands on me. It's not alleged. I did it. But let's keep it motherfucking pushing, right? Okay, then the suspect responds and said, I'm not alleged. I did it. Next, Officer Ricky and I walked the suspect to patrol vehicle number 2412. This is Officer A, Ricky's patrol vehicle, which was on the northeast gate of Kirkendall, all right, Kirkendall Stadium. As we were walking to the squad car, the suspect was emotional, key words, emotional, and said he put his hands on me. I told him not to. Caucasian people, these are his words. And some way, somehow, he's still going to find a way to twist his words, man. Double standard. He put his hands on me. And look, he used the key word is emotional. That means he understands what happened. He feels sympathetic that he did it. But he put his hands on me and I told him not to. I did not question the suspect about the incident while he was escorted to the patrol vehicle. I searched his person once again, and I had sit him in the back seat area, driver's side of patrol vehicle 2412, whatever. While the suspect was in the back seat, I noticed fresh blood on his left middle finger. Right here. I verbally acknowledged that. I saw the blood out loud. Excuse me, what? I saw the blood out loud so that it would be captured on my body-worn camera. See, that's what I'm talking about. Where's the camera? He's going to get off, son. But let's continue, right? Body cam. That's the word I was trying to get little earlier. It should also be noted that the suspect asked me, is he going to be okay? while he was in the backseat. See, again, it's my first time reading this shit for the first time. Sympathetic and caring about the suspect. Worried about his condition. Is he going to be okay? That don't sound like no thug to me. That don't sound like a 1.2 GPA average redundant class clown to me. Sound like a very well raised, smart, conscientious young man. It should be also noted that the suspect asked me, is he going to be okay, while he was sitting in the back seat. I then identified the suspect. He provided his name and date of birth verbally as Karmelo Anthony, black male with a date of birth of such and such, which I ran through the FPD dispatch. Officer John Hancock arrived on the scene and remained with me and the suspect at this point. Karmelo was then checked via eSchool database to also confirm his identity. The identifying information he provided matched the individual I had in custody. Next, I was advised by Sergeant Holland to transport the subject to the Frisco PD jail. Officer Hancock and I transported him to the FPD jail. Again, I did not question Karmelo about the incident. Upon arriving to the jail, Karmelo was escorted in the intake area. FPD jail staff changed him out into jail attire. I remained with jail staff the entire time that he was changed over. The clothes that Karmelo was wearing was placed in a FPD paper evidence bag. The clothes remained in my possession from this point on. Upon Karmelo being placed into a jail cell, I continued to keep possession of his clothes. I returned to my patrol car along with Officer Hancock, which was in the FPD Sally Port, and placed Karmelo's clothes in the back trunk area. When the jail keep that stuff there, but I guess they're taking it for evidence. I guess so, whatever. I drove patrol car 2412 out of the Sally Port and parked the squad car in the FPD patrol parking area. Karmelo's clothes remained in the trunk area of vehicle FPD crime scene technician K. Dillard took the possession of Karmelo's clothes. I added my body-worn camera to the case. I have no further information to report. Just that right there, off the rip, I'm not going to talk too much, but that right there solidify his innocence. It solidify how stand-up he was. He didn't show no kind of deviance or no kind of misleading information or being deceptive. Deceptive, the key word, deceptive. He was caring. He acknowledged what he did was wrong, and he was worrying about if Austin was okay. That don't sound like no criminal to me. But let's keep a goddamn pushing, right? Supplemental. Okay. I know this is not the same thing. Hold on. Okay, I think this is the same thing. Hold on. Yep. This is pretty much the same thing. Yep. This is Ricky's account. All right, let's read. I mean, it's the same thing, but let's see if he adds something different. All right, let me just skim through this real quick because it's pretty much what I just read up here. This is another officer, right? That's another officer. What's his name? Eduardo. This is Eduardo's account. Story. Now, this is Officer Ricky Allison. So let's see if he, his story is parallel. I'm just going to skim. I'm not going to read it. Let me just skim because it's pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much robbed in the scene, approach the track field area. So Officer Cortez, Eduardo Cortez, leaning next to the black male wearing gray hooded sweatshirt with blue sweatpants. The male later identifies Karmelo Anthony was in handcuffs and on the sidewalk to the entrance of the track. As I made it approach the Cortez, Officer Cortez stated Anthony was the alleged suspect. Anthony then made a spontaneous statement and stated, "I'm not alleged. I did it." Pretty much the same thing. Let's go to the next page. Pretty much the same goddamn thing. Oh, so we have Officer Will Otis. Okay. All right. So let's all right. Let's read this. On Wednesday, Frisco Police Department officers were dispatched to Frisco Independent District. Frisco Police Emergency Communications was receiving an emergency call regarding an athlete that was stabbed. The original unknown assailant was a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants, and also had a goatee and short hair. The subject was possibly wearing a Centennial High School attire, as it was believed he was a student there for the sporting event. He was there for the sporting event, just like anybody else. He had every fucking right to be there. This had all taken place on the visitor side of the stadium, north side, and the victim was under the Memorial High School tent in the bleachers. At around the same time, school resource officer Cortez arrived on the scene and began assisting the victim trainers and the other parties. Officer Cortez also advised on the radio that he also had the suspect. Sergeant Otis, or Oatis, however that's fucking announced, was working the 50 sector as the sergeant. He was in full Frisco Police Department uniform with district patches and badge and a police duty belt. Okay. He was also in a marked Frisco Police Department vehicle. Okay. He was relatively close to the car and placed himself on it at around 102 hours, whatever, and responded to the call with his patrol vehicles, overhead emergency lights, and sirens activated. He arrived to the call at around blah blah blah. So the Raiders arrived at the stadium and began walking up to the location. At around this time, Officer Cortez and Officer Ricky were walking a black male, the suspect, away from the stadium. The suspect was crying. Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing that he was crying hysterically. Somebody who was crying, sympathetic, caring, empathetic, and emotional. This don't sound like somebody who came there to premeditate a murder. All actions prove exactly what initially happened. Self-defense. The suspect was crying hysterically. Please see the other involved officers' narratives for their involvement. Every officer that give their account of what happened when he came to the scene all coincides with Eduardo Cortez, the first officer that got on the scene, that put Karmelo in handcuffs. Everything matches. So that hopefully, God willing, this boy get off and that bell get reduced. It's insane. Anyway, Sergeant Otis walked up to the visitor bleachers and observed the victim being treated by Frisco Fire Department personnel and also the athletic training. Excuse me, y'all. Hold on, let me take a sip of some tea, man. My shit is kind of dry. I can't even see the chat, but I hope y'all still with me. I can't see shit, but I hope y'all still here. All right. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me see if y'all still here. Goddamn it. Let me see what's going on. All right, y'all still here. All right, got you. All right, thank y'all for being here, motherfuckers. All right, let's go. Oh shit, hold on. All right. The weather began to turn, and it began to heavily downpour rain. At this time, some of the FSD staff moved the memorial tent to cover the victim and the FFD personnel. Sergeant Otis began using his city-issued phone to snap crime scene photos to preserve as much as the scene as possible due to the weather and the large gathering of people that were involved in the incident. Again, don't forget, people were recording this shit while it was happening, when the actual stabbing happened, and after. And police took all of their phones. So hopefully they don't, you know what I mean? Anywho. All right, photos to preserve as much as it seemed possible due to the weather and the large gathering of people that were involved in the incident. Other officers began to set up crime scene with tape, moving non-essential personnel out of the immediate area. Everybody that's in here, please make sure y'all share if y'all haven't shared, man. It ain't gonna kill you, and I appreciate you. Please share, hit that like button. Thank you in advance, y'all. The officers on scene were informed that the knife was used and was tossed. It was still believed to be somewhere close. Now, we have to understand something. You could carry a knife, but now if it's more than 5 inches, and I don't think I need to say pause, but if it's more than 5 inches, then that can be kind of a problem. So, but let's see. Eventually, one of the witnesses said they remember seeing it on the beaches still. Officer Charles, whatever, was able to locate the knife. It was located between rows 9 and 10 near seat 30, closest to the aisle, partially open. The rain began to come down again heavily, and it was determined that instead of moving the knife, the officers would cover it with a large blue tarp. Sergeant Otis assisted in preserving the immediate scene as much as possible while the other personnel tended to the victim and eventually transported him. Around this time, Officer Wetzel, that's insane. Officer Wetzel had the crime scene logged and began logging the individuals on the call to the best of his abilities. Lieutenant Crawford and Pemberton relieved Sergeant Otis of the scene. Sergeant Otis went back to the police department to download his body cam and the photos he took with the city-issue phone. Sergeant Otis' city-issue phone had a total of 33 photos that were used to document the incident scene. During the download, the initial photos formatting was incapable with the crime scene folder. He re-downloaded it. Come on, Mike. He re-downloaded the photos that he took, and they were able to be saved properly for preservation of evidence. At this time, there is nothing further to add to this report. So these are all the officers that were there, and they have to give their accounts. And so far, everything aligns. Everything aligns with the initial report. And Caucasians from the Caucasian society has literally made this into a race thing. Salute to Austin. Well, rest in peace to Austin. But salute to his father, who is standing on business. Salute to the father. Good-hearted man. I would say however, no but however, I feel that he knows that his sons were a bully. But he knows that all of the Caucasians on Twitter and all over the place has been creating this atmosphere of hate and prejudice and one-sidedness. You know what I mean? And he understands that that's why he took that approach. And now Karmelo's family, the address has been posted, has been put it all over the internet, and people have been threatening to kill him. That shit got me hot, because I'll be like, if I was a family, anybody come on my motherfucking property, I'm blowing your fucking head off. So fuck that. I ain't being scared of none of them niggas. Come on my property. I'm gonna kill you. Literally. I'm popping your shit. Period. Facts. But let's continue, goddamn. So Taylor Wetzel. That is a weird ass name. Wetzel. He was assigned to work. Let me try to skim, because it's pretty much the same thing, and I don't want to bore y'all, because I don't want to bore myself saying the same shit. I hate repeating myself. I really do. He was not conscious and not breathing. The notes also indicate that the suspect was a black man with a goatee, short hair, wearing Centennial gear. I arrived at the scene approximately When I arrived on the scene, I grabbed a roll crime scene tape from my trunk and proceeded to the visitors' bleachers where dispatch advised the victim was. While I was walking towards the visitors' bleachers, I was approached by a witness who identified themselves as such and such, such and such. Began telling me what happened. And I asked him where the stabbing occurred. Advised it happened under the memorial pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. Listen, look, visitors' bleachers. And they was on the visiting side, which is the north side. I'm going to read that shit again. He had every fucking right. Advised it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors. So anybody could have sat there. Some fucking visitors' bleachers. So anything that's on, any tent that's on the fucking bleacher side, it's for visitors. And he's an athlete. I can see if it was any other person, like a regular, like a family member or whatever the case may be, then you could kind of weigh, you could kind of be like, well, you just here, but you shouldn't be under, you know what I mean? I could get that, but he's an athlete. They know this. They seen that kid before. But any motherfucking who. Read that shit again. Advised it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. God damn it! I immediately informed Sergeant Otis, where the witness stated the stabbing occurred, and gave him the crime scene tape to start securing the crime scene. I then had moved to the walkway under the visitors' bleachers out of the rain to further speak with me. The following is a summary of my contact with such and such. Advised he was sitting under the memorial pop-up tent with his team. It was, hold on, shit. Now I need to, let me see now. Again, it's my first time reading this, man. So I'm woke up now because now you get to with the witness account. All right, so the victim, Austin, and the suspect was later identified as Karmelo Anthony. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent. And Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. Let's stop right there. Hold on. Some of y'all read this shit already. But let's what will make somebody go into their bag after somebody tells you need to move from here? Did he say, well, hey, man, this is our team stuff. This way, all of us are going to sit, man. Can do you think you could just, can you move to another tent? I appreciate it just for my team. No, he ain't say it like that. He said it like a real fucking Jim Crow nigga. It's so fucking simple. Why would he just go in his back if the video will match what that witness just said? If a person go into their bag, that means he's being on the defense because they feel threatened. If they came respectfully, like, hey man, this is our team stuff, we need this, whatever the case may be. If he just said it politely, he would never went into his bag. You go grab your weapon when you feel there's a fucking threat. You understand what I'm saying? Are y'all following me? Hit that goddamn one and please share that I'm on. And I'm gonna open the floor too, because I would like to have a discussion and let and see where everybody's mindset at. If you Caucasian, you could jump on here too. You could too. We all gonna be respectful, no yelling, no nothing, none of that crazy stuff. But if you would like to engage, that's fine. But I'll open the floor in a minute. God damn it. Shit. It's crazy, man. Where I'm at, goddamn. All right. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent. I hate to be so anal. It's the words. It's sometimes it's not what they say, it's what they didn't say. He said that Anthony needed That's the key word. You needed to move, not can you move. He didn't say Austin asked, can he move? Okay? Austin had told, key word, instructed, demanded Anthony that he needed boldly, aggressively to move out from under their team's tent. Anthony grabbed his bag. Why? Just because he said, hey, man, can you move from over here? No, he said, you need to move from over here. You need to get out of here. This is our team shit. With aggression, and that's why he went for his fucking bag, man. It makes sense, man. But anyway, opened it and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. Why would he say off the rip, touch me and see what happens? That's not logical on how the continuity of a conversation will go if you're about to pop off and there's a situation about to happen. Unless you're just plain old fucking retarded. Like if you just really spacely sprocket. But in a real life situation, and this will make me question the witness, because he didn't explain how Austin approached him. This is what I'm saying. This witness respectfully, he is from the Caucasian society. He has to be. But again, conversations like that don't just spark up like that. Though the continuity of friction in a confrontation. A confrontation is the key word. It don't happen that way. The continuity isn't there as bits and pieces, selective details. Anyway, touch me and see what happens. No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag. And Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, proceeded to touch Anthony. You were warned, Austin. So that just further lets me know. Hold on, man. It further lets me know. Let me show you this picture one more again. It further lets me know that you thought you was big and cocky and strong enough to put hands on him, and you have your brother with you. So you can jump him if you want to. He took into his own hands to touch somebody that literally told him, you come up, you touch me and see what the fuck happens. A person who is scared will fall the fuck back or try to de-escalate the situation. This kid, respectfully, God bless his soul, he caused his own death. But see, the Caucasian society, they don't like to think logical. When it comes down to race, they are literally not intellectually capable enough to explain or give a rational, reasoning. So that's what I'm saying. It is what it is. Let's continue, goddammit. If you are enjoying yourself, you press 1 out this motherfucker. Okay? Thank you for watching. Let's continue. They have no authority to move them. Exactly. Again, and I'm gonna keep running it. If y'all haven't shared, please, family, share. Again, and I'm reading like this for a reason. And Austin proceeded to touch Anthony after the warning, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, if he see, this is what I'm saying, man. If he said punch me, that means, come on, fam. That means Austin threatened to punch him, so he was being the aggressor. Who the fuck is just gonna, if a person touched you, you said you punch me in the face and see what happened? Why would somebody want you? Why would a person want themselves to get punched in the face? They say touch me again. No, he was threatened. He got threatened to get punched in the face, and he said, And that's after he touched them. Punch me in the face to see what happened. Because he said, man, I'll punch you in your face. Punch me in the face to see what happened. Right? A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what we call as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to help. Such and such advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another memorial track member such and such was friends with Anthony and he could identify Anthony. Described Anthony as a black male, skinny with a possible goatee, short puffy hair, and wearing Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact. I was then instructed to start a crime scene log. I retrieved a crime scene log from my patrol vehicle and began starting the crime scene log. I was later relieved by Officer Shaw's, who took over the crime scene log, and I cleared the scene. Nothing further attached to original report. Insane. So this is all the officers that was there. And then I think I'm gonna have to read it because the information is just a little bit better. We got one more page left. Let me see. Damn, we got a lot left. All right, so let me just scroll through this motherfucker. Okay, all right, bung. All right, I read that one. Okay. So it'll be right here. Officer Hancock, Jerry Hancock. While working such and such park, information the scene due to the scene, call test said he's a suspect in custody. When I got all right, we can skim that. Definitely can skim that. I know y'all know, but for the slowies in the back, you know what I mean, that can't hear the bus matron in the front. These are all officers that pulled up to the scene. This is all of their accounts of what happened. Officer A. Fisher was dispatched, chest and was not breathing. When I arrived at the crime scene, already marked off as suspect in custody, I began asking people if they were a witness to anything. I made contact with Hunter such and such, and then such and such. A black men were both breathing heavily. Wait, hold on. Okay. I made contact with Hunter such and such, and then such and such, black male. So, all right. So, one of the witnesses was a black male right here. Okay. They were both breathing heavily and crying due to the nature of events. They were with coaches on the field and it was pouring down raining. We made the decision to relocate the locker room just to the east to get out of the rain. Once in there, things calm a little bit. However, they were still hysterical and could not really talk. And there I learned Hunter was the brother of the victim. I attempted to ask them both what had happened. I could not really get anything out of Hunter, but the black guy stated he wanted to speak. I asked him what happened, and he stated that they were all sitting on the bleachers under the memorial. They all was sitting there. So that means, shut up, Mike. Shut up. I asked him what happened, and he stated, they were all sitting on the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent with another male who he didn't know, walked over and sat under the tent and then said Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth. And then Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out the tent. This is all aggressiveness. This is all bravado, cockiness, and authoritative, like soft as someone. He went back and forth and stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. Such and such had said during this time of argument, the male was reaching in his bag he had. It was at this time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin and then left the scene. This was all says that whoever the person name is remembered when he talked to me. After this, I stood by the 3 athlete witnesses until CID arrived and interviewed them. I was then relieved by Sergeant something and went back to patrol. Nothing further. But we see who is the antagonist. It is the visiting side where visitors can sit there. He didn't really like this kid or something. Why would you even have a problem with him sitting under there? I don't know. But let's continue. Mike Crawford. Let me skim a little bit, because we all know I arrived on the scene. I observed medical personnel, several bystanders standing next to a subject, later identified as the victim, Austin McCaff. The medical personnel were actively engaging in life-saving measures with Mr. Metcalf. I observed the crime scene was created around the area and began collecting the names and contact information of the bystanders within the scene. I met with Officer Wetzel and directed him to begin a crime scene log as he all right. From that point forward, I worked on coordinating response. I took no other action at the scene. My body-worn camera did not activate when I initially arrived on the scene, but I did activate it when I discovered it wasn't recording while waiting with the witness. Nothing further. Okay, now, all right, let's hear what Showers have to say. I'm sorry. Excuse me, y'all. Let me skim for y'all real quick because I don't want to repeat the same shit we already know, right? Okay, he said, he zoomed in a little bit. He said, upon my arrival, I tried to get an update location of the suspect. I cannot see Officer Cortez. That's Eduardo Cortez, the first officer on the scene who actually who put what's the name in handcuffs and everything. I could not see Officer Cortez when I arrived. Officer Cortez informed over the radio that he had the suspect in custody. At this time, I turned my attention to the victim. Multiple FISD trainers were already performing CPR. I cannot see blood on or around the victim. At this time, medics arrived and began life-saving measures. I coordinated with other officers on the scene to secure the location. By this time, the students and FISD staff had cleared the area. I used my crime scene tape and began to tape off the area. It began to rain harder, and Sergeant Otis and myself moved a Memorial High School tent over the medics and the victim to attempt to preserve an evidence that we could. A Memorial coach approached me and informed me that he was with a student who claimed to see the entire altercation. I told the coach to stick with the student and that we would need to get him to the police station to give a statement. The student quickly informed me that he knew where the suspect threw the knife and pointed me to its location. I located the knife with Sergeant Otis and could see blood on the knife. I quickly used my city-issue phone to take pictures before the rain could wash the blood away. Sergeant Otis located a blue tarp, and we decided that we should cover the knife without touching it, and then in an attempt to preserve any evidence. It was windy and raining hard. Once we positioned the tarp over the knife, I reached down and grabbed a backpack left in the stands to weigh the tarp down. It threw it by Sergeant Otis was positioning the tarp. It was later discovered that the backpack I threw on the tarp was the suspect's backpack. It was the only Centennial High School book bag located within the Memorial High School backpacks in that area of the stands. And now, people's going to ask, like, well, why he was there? You know what I mean? It's not like he don't have friends. He know people over there. So, they're going to try to find any little thing just to have some kind of inch to take a yard with to claim a reasonable doubt that it was premeditated. Anyway, after securing the scene with the crime scene tape, attempted to preserve much evidence as possible, I assisted officers with locating the possible witnesses. Officer Wetzel was maintaining scene security, while I was assisting officers. The medics transported the victim. I relied I relieved him of that post so he could go back to patrol. Kyle Pemberton. Let's see. Let me just skim for y'all. For y'all and my damn self. So the same thing. Nothing. You know, just meeting with the ambulance and hospital prior and the way to arrive. They arrived at the victim who was brought into a trauma bay treatment. Pronounced Austin deceased. Once he was pronounced to stop treatment and disconnected cords, tubes from the machines without removing anything from his body itself. While on the scene, I took possession of the clothing worn by Austin and maintained possession of the items until CSI Dillard took them from me. While on the scene, Officer Layden requested assistance in lifting the sheets off the body to take photos. I then placed the sheets back when complete. I stood by in the room for security while Officer Layden, Officer Hernandez, and CSI Dillard took additional pictures. Interviewed the body. I was informed by staff and officers that they would be allowed to touch the head and feet of Austin when they did. Nurses from the hospital bagged Austin in a body bag. Wow, man. Wow. God bless his soul, though. God bless him, man. God bless his soul, man. Life is very precious, man. And I wish that this didn't occur. I wish that Austin would still be alive. However, he caused his own death. I also met. This is the same officer. I also met with the following coaches who advised they witnessed the incident. Maco Gonzalez, Centennial High School coach. See, the Centennial High School coach was there. He was there. Her suspect confessed to stabbing. Vincent Hooper, Heritage High School coach. A different school. Her suspect confessed to stabbing the victim. Lakeisha, you know she black. Lakeisha Colin, Independence High School coach. Another from a different school witnessed the incident. Mindy Yeatman, Independence High School coach, witnessed the incident. After completing this task, I cleared the scene. Hold on, man. Hold on. So all these other coaches from different schools, this knock out all the F shit that they talking about. He should have been there. Centennial High School coaches is there. All different independent coaches and high school coaches is there. Why he was not allowed to be there? Why he couldn't be there? That's the question. And it's raining. And he's sitting there with other people. Why was he singled out? Because he had a Centennial book bag and jersey or shirt on? That was aggressiveness. He literally caused his own death for trying to be tough. And you know you was bigger than him. Like, come on. I'm gonna open the floor real quick too. I'm gonna read more, but then I'm gonna put the chat, the link in there. If anybody wanna jump on, man, jump on. You know, free for all. So I'm gonna put the link. It's right there. All right, the link is right there in the chat. Let's continue because it's almost done. Please, everybody, if you have not shared, it's not gonna kill you. Please share this live. I will gladly appreciate you, man. All right. So we have, God damn, Alejandro, Alvarez. Okay, just that Alvarez. Goddamn it. Responding to the statement call. Upon arrival, I provided scene security and assisted to keeping civilians away from the crime scene. I maintained this position until I was relieved by CID detectives that cleared the scene. Nothing further. We got Joshua Miller. That sounds like a black man to me. Or maybe Hispanic, you just never know now. Approximately was dispatched at the call located. Nothing there. All right, let's continue. I think this is the last one. Yep, this is the last page. Last page. All right. This is another officer. Or was the same officer. What's his name? This is just for the record. No, that's a new officer because it said nothing further. So Joshua Miller, well, whoever the fuck this is. Okay, so let's go right here. Last page was placed on a bag and secured. Wait, hold on, what? Yeah, that's insane. But anyway, I took notes during this time, which were scanned to the report and booked as evidence. This almost seemed like they. I don't know. I don't know if they're playing with the information here or whatever. Anyway, I took notes during this time, which was scanned to the report and booked as evidence. I turned in the crime scene log to be scanned to the report. At the conclusion of the call, I took my camera off of covert mode and went to turn it off. At that point, I learned that the camera had failed to activate. Due to it being on covert mode, I did not see the indicator light sun, the top of the camera. Now, a lot of officers that was there. Now, the main one to me that really counts is Officer Cortez, Eduardo Cortez. That is the first officer, and he has body cam. So his is very critical, very critical. And the other one, whatever his name is, for the witness. But anyway, we got Andrew Higgins. Let me skim that. Let me skim it. I'm not wasting no more time. I was working the desk, approximately walked into the main lobby stating that he had witnessed the stabbing. Okay, this is a witness. Such and such, he's a white male, walked into the main lobby stating that he had witnessed this stabbing. It was told to come to the lobby to complete a witness statement. I gave such and such a voluntary witness statement that he worked on until detectives arrived to speak with him. H left with detectives and I returned to normal duties. Nothing further. Thomas Craig, he has to be black male or maybe white. Okay. Approximately was at the Heritage High School and heard via radio. Let me skim just for the heck of it. I immediately responded to the scene. Upon arrival, I made contact with Officer Cortez, who was standing next to the marked police vehicle. Officer Cortez advised he had detained the suspect and he was in the patrol vehicle. I then responded to the victim scene that was in the North Bleachers. As I walked up, I noticed Frisco Fire Department personnel was attempting to provide life-saving measures to a subject later identified as Memorial High School student Austin Metcalf. As other officers worked the scene, I was asked respond to the stadium's medical locker room area to keep the following Memorial High School students witness separated until detectives could speak with them. So these are the names. I think this is the black guy, E something. Because that's the brother. I think his name is Joseph Metcalf, but the black dude and Joseph, they was interviewed almost at the same time. While with them, I was told to take their cell phones from them and later turned them over to Sergeant Bisonette, whatever. After being relieved, I was asked to make contact with the FISD athletes that have been placed on school buses. Below is a list of students who identify themselves as witnesses to the stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Now listen, let's count real quick. And I have to write it down myself. Let's count. So we have one. See, I don't know. Okay. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let me just write that down. 21 witnesses. And again, they have photos. I mean, they have what you call it? Video. They got video. I'm gonna add everybody to the thing right now. What's the name? Queen Bee, you have to come out and come back on, sweetie, because it's not letting me pull you up.
Yo, they got a
Anybody who
rep,
wanna
bro.
jump on, please. If anybody want to jump on, the link is in the chat. I put it back in there. Brooklyn was good.
What's good, bro? They got a rep. They got a rep that spoke up for him. It's like a 30-minute video. I think it'll be good content for you to react to for Karmelo.
Say that one more
You
time,
know
sir.
Karmelo got a rep that spoke out for him that probably about 7 hours ago. I just put the video in the private link. It's good content for you to respond to. He was standing on business and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And and also,
ahead,
yeah, it's clear to see that the police officer was withholding information in the report because the brother of Austin said that they had an argument, but the brother refused to state what Austin said, and so did the police, and it's clear to see that they're choosing which witnesses' stories that they publish and which witnesses' stories that they hide. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens when we got white police officers on the scene. Black people can't think that the truth just gonna prevail. You know what I'm saying? Because you have white police officers, white prosecutors, and then white jury who's gonna all, fall in with social media and whatever white people think on social media, and they're gonna hold their own people down, right or wrong. They're gonna make excuses, right or wrong, for their own people, bro. And we're always gonna be criminalized and seem like, we're the bad guys because we are the bad guys. They see us as enemies. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we the bad guys to them, just existing with us, And it's a lot of white people on social media saying they need to get away from blacks. But last time I checked, they do everything in their power to come next to blacks. You know what I'm saying? That's what gentrification is about. You feel me? They do everything in their power to come here. Especially if we're indigenous to America, you came here to be next to us. You feel me? So, every time you get a little separation from us, you come back. Because we could be the culture of America. America is lit because Black American culture.
That's right.
Which is now called American culture.
But without us, it'd be like it would be so different.
America has no culture, bro.
They don't have a culture, none
the
whatsoever.
First culture to American culture was cowboy culture. That's ours.
We was cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I was just watching 2 nights ago. I was just watching and Bo Diddley. He was the dude. He is Bo Diddley. Everybody go look up Bo Diddley. And we got Chuck Berry. And we got Little Richard. These are the guys who literally made rock and roll. The riffs, everything came from Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley. I'm gonna look him up.
I heard of him, but never looked at the story. But I looked at his story. But I always knew Chuck Berry. But I just watched the documentary the other night of Chuck Berry just to get a refresh my memory of things. Sometimes you got to go back and just refresh and get that history again of your people. And it's so crazy. Our history here is so fucking rich. So rich, and it all came from us out of the struggle. Insane. But go ahead, family.
And one thing I'm gonna say, like Malcolm X spoke about people in the 60s, right? The middle class blacks. Right. I'm tired of certain middle class blacks who become conservatives and Republicans do their best to ignore racism. They do their best to ignore racism, and they really make Republican Party look bad. Even if you wanted to be a Republican or a conservative, they do their best to ignore racism. And, it's almost like the Republicans is pro-white against blacks, and the Democrats is pro-immigrant against blacks. And we have either side. You know what I'm saying? So, they race bait just as much as the Democrats. The Democrats race bait for money. They get hundreds of millions of dollars. Joe Biden got hundreds of millions of dollars from Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Republicans race bait to ignore that, to make it seem like racism doesn't exist. So now, we have a precedent, man. And I hopefully we can protect our people, wrong or right. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong at this point, bro. They use the justice system as a gun for black people.
Absolutely. That's their only protection. That's their protection. So they're gonna uphold that and use it as much as possible.
It's their army. It's their military for against us. You know, their cousins, their uncles, their fathers, their sons, they all join the police, the army, the CIA, the FBI, and they use this military against us, no matter what we do, you know, and we're always going to be wrong to them. So we have to stand by our people, right or wrong, bro. We got to stop talking about, yo, this is right and this is wrong. It doesn't matter at this point because it doesn't matter with them. They make an excuse for everything. You know, George Floyd was killed. They said, nah, he died over overdose, even though we seen he wasn't overdosing on that camera when that knee was on his neck.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They said Kyle Rittenhouse killed some other white people. He went to a protest with a gun.
Yeah.
He went to a peaceful protest with a gun, killed some other white people in self-defense, you know, and got self-defense. Yeah. But the argument could have been mad. Why did he bring guns to the protest? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got Daniel Penny in New York. Right, people was praising him. I seen black people praising him, and I didn't. Most of these people was Caribbeans, but it was a few people. I had somebody in my family praising him. Yo, you know, Daniel Penny. He's a hero. He need to be free because these middle class blacks really, they want to believe that racism doesn't exist because they have a few white friends or they date white people.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's all that is. Any person with melanin who literally thinks that way, to say everything that you just said, we have to understand something, that we have to literally at this present time, we have to start really cutting these people off, like literally cutting them off, exposing them. I mean, we doing it now. So this paradigm shift is here and is never going anywhere. We have to literally gatekeep the culture and literally stand on business, wrong, right, and different, just like everybody else, man. And that's just that, man. Give me your overall thoughts and closing before I play this video, man.
I would say, like I said, you know, the police, they're hiding information, and that needs to be said. The black community got to speak up about that. The white police officer withholding certain witnesses' testimony and playing, collaborating, you know, publishing certain witnesses that fit the narrative.
Right.
You know, and mind you, they call our brother Karmelo Anthony a killer.
Yeah.
Throughout all the media channels, CNN, they called him a killer. But Daniel Penny choked Jordan Neely out. They didn't call him a killer. They called him a hero and an army vet throughout the news.
Yeah. That's what they do.
So, and we need to start putting out our media channels. We need to start having our own networks. We need to somehow become a party or a people where we can have a all black jury with cases like this. Because
not to cut you off, because you just made me, because sometimes I might forget my thoughts.
Yeah, bro.
Just like the Muslims, they brought 420 acres of land, and they governing their own community. We should do the same thing. And this we have to make demands. We have to make sure that we police our shit. Ain't nobody selling drugs. Anybody sell drugs, you're out of here. Anybody do all that fuck shit, go to Cleveland with that shit. Go to New York with that shit. But this new community that we should invest in and pay for our own fucking policing and all that shit, we not tolerating none of that shit. All this shit is for generational wealth thinkers, inventors, producers, farmers, architects, everything, man. We have to do it.
Yeah, we got to do it. But we have to do it on a multitude. We have to do many communities at once. We can't do one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because they'll attack it, and black people will fold. They'll say, "Oh, that's wrong. They were selling drugs. Oh, that's wrong. They was doing this. They was doing that. They was raping kids or some shit. You know, my fault with
and protect, and we have to protect it. There ain't no damn July 1st, 1921. No more. We ain't. You know what I'm saying? So Black Wall Street. Nah, we gotta protect it. I mean, they was protecting their shit too till they got the bomb. But still, at the end of the day, listen, man. Look, it is what it is. At the end of they got in this
It
position.
wasn't just Black Wall Street though.
Blood. Don't be afraid to share blood, man, because they ain't.
Remember, it was 100 different black neighborhoods. You know that they turned
North Carolina. It's so many places, man. So many places.
Yeah.
Florida, like it's so many places, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So now did you know Manhattan was called the land of the blacks in the 1600s? Manhattan was full of black people,
Absolutely.
Dutch from Europe.
Since 1683, black people has always been in New York. Since even Malcolm X, Malcolm X, yeah, even of course, 1500s.
ODB family.
The whole Central Park was for all of the black Indians.
And now notice though, Manhattan is what? The financial capital of the world. Wherever we at, they come take over and it becomes a powerhouse.
Absolutely.
You know, and they don't take over by force. They take over with words.
And eminent domain, all this weird shit. So they try to use legal terms like eminent domain, like that right there. Man, so crazy that how they could get away with that eminent domain. They want to make a highway that could go here and to make it easier for people to like all this fuck shit, man. I ain't with it, man. I ain't with it, man. But listen, man. You could jump back on in a minute. I want to play this shit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, play that.
But I definitely appreciate you, family. Definitely speaking some shit, and you know I haven't had this correspondence like that in a minute on my live, but definitely appreciate you, man. You jump back on in a minute, though.
Yeah, of course, bro.
All right, man. Salute to you, Ken. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro. Wait, hold on. You from Brooklyn? Damn, my bad. That was quick. I meant to ask this motherfucker. What part of Brooklyn you from, son? That's what I meant to ask you. What part of Brooklyn you from, son? Salute, man. I meant to ask you that. But anyway, we're gonna play this. Yeah, it's just real out here, man. And please hit that like button if you haven't. Please share, and they gonna kill you. Let's get right to it, man.
Real quick, I want to start off by saying real quick that my comments are represented today by the Next Generation Action Network that have been working with the Anthony family from the advocacy standpoint. I'm not.
Salute, man. Crown Heights all day, nigga. Motherfucking my family from off of Ralph and St. Mark's. My people's on Howard and Rochester. You know, Eastern Parkway. I'm Brooklyn all day, nigga. Salute to Crown Heights, man. You already.
The Anthony family attorney. Of course, you know the Next Generation Action Network is no stranger to this line of work. And we have been representing families for the last 10 years from an advocacy standpoint to get to the bottom of this situation. The Next Generation Action Network, since the past week, have gotten thousands of calls regarding this situation and making sure that our organization was involved in this situation because of the growing tension of racism and bigotry.
Thank you, Queen Kente. Appreciate the Cash App. If y'all would like to donate, show some love, please show some love. All right, thank you.
Involving with the case. I want to start off by saying that I appreciate the Deputy Chief, John Stretch, from being able to come here to meet with us, as well as the Assistant Police Chief, Darren Stevens. These are two individuals who are currently over the investigation that is currently going on in Frisco ISD. Of course, let's start off in the proper way. I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network, the largest human and civil rights organization in North Texas. Today, we had a meeting with the leadership of the Frisco Police Department to discuss the matter of urgency in escalating racial threats and bigotry and online hate directed at the Anthony family. Let me be clear. The Anthony family cannot leave their home because of the growing threats towards their safety. Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats. They are being targeted with violence and simply because their child is in the center of this tragedy. We are here just for just. This justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. We cannot allow white America to decide when and how Black people can speak up against oppression. We do not pull the race card, we live it. Yes, this case is a tragedy. Anytime a child is lost, we mourn as a community. Our heart goes out to the family of Austin Metcalf, but we do not erase the right of the Anthony family to be protected and heard and treated with dignity. That's why today we spoke with the Frisco Police Department leadership to demand answers. We need to know what steps are being taken to protect the Anthony family, the strategies of the threats that's being spreaded, and how Frisco Police is ensuring that Karmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment right, fair and public trial, is fully respected. Let's make it clear that absolutely we have the full permission and trust of the Anthony family and authorized for the Next Generation Action Network to speak today. Today in this meeting, we talked about and was able to give them graphic images of what this family has had to deal with for the last couple of days. It is sad. These graphic images not only display children with knives, Black children with knives stuck in their head, the Anthony family's address. We saw when this case first started that people were putting online that when Section 8 was accepted into the Frisco neighborhood, that became the lead of the downfall of Frisco. We have saw so many different hateful images, just hateful things. And the Next Generation Action Network wants to reiterate that Karmelo Anthony has a right to a fair trial, unbiased, and removed of racial hate and bigotry. I want to make it very clear, and I say this from my heart and my own personal reference. If someone wants to say race is not in this situation and shouldn't be, well, I asked all of those people to join me in calling it out. But don't look at Black people and say, don't always play the race card. We don't play the race card, we live it. We live a reality. We also feel that the bond that Karmelo Anthony is on is too high. We do. Because guess what? We've been here when Aaron Dean was arrested. We was here when Amber Geiger was arrested. $200,000. The system, it has a problem in it. Now, what I want to be able to do is ensure, and what we was able to hear today from the Frisco Police Department is reassuring that the Frisco Police Department is doing everything that it can to address the racism and the bigotry. We have saw the police chief, a statement being sent out by the police chief that was false. We have saw a false autopsy report that was false. We have to caution the community to say, hey, we cannot trust everything that is online. The disinformation that is going online is hurting this case, and it has to stop. It has to stop, y'all. As we know it right now, Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony did not know each other. They did not know each other. Let's stop it. They were not at a party together. Let's stop the lies regarding this situation. We also know that both Austin Metcalf, the twin brothers, were on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We also know that Karmelo Anthony was on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We know they both arrived, all of them arrived to this facility via the transportation of Frisco ISD. The lies has to stop, y'all. Far as the legal strategy, I'm not talking about that today because that's not my place. I'm not the lawyer. I think you guys have all had a statement in regards that the lawyers have asked for a bond reduction and they will release that in the way. We are solely here because where racism and bigotry and hate arises, the Next Generation Action Network will be there and will respond to that hate. We will not allow our communities to go under attack. We know that when people see a white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always become a factor in that situation. And it's really because people don't want to really have a conversation about racial reconciliation in this country. And the current climate that we live in, where racism and bigotry is at the forefront, we don't really want to have these conversations. And social media has been a stomping ground for people to be able to launch any disparity that they want to. And so, our heart goes out to all who are involved. The Next Generation Action Network continues to restate that we are here to support this situation based on what we have seen. We want to continue to express Mr. Karmelo Anthony's grounds of where he has displayed self-defense. I think that in the next coming days, as you see the things going out in the courtroom, it will be displayed. But today's meeting was solely about the threats that have been going towards their home and ensuring that there is a fair and impartial investigation going on. And I want the public to know that our organization, along with attorneys, are doing everything they can to make sure that race is not a factor in this case, ensuring and supporting like we've always done. And so I really appreciate the police chief coming to meet with us today to answer all of those questions that we have had. And so at this time, I'll just open it up for questions.
Dominique, what exactly did you ask police to do and what exactly did they tell you they would do? And is it enough?
Okay. Break that down. Just give me that again.
What exactly did you ask Frisco Police in your meeting today to do about these allegations of racism leveled against this family? What did you ask police to do about it? What did they say they were going to do about it? And is it enough?
What I've asked them to do is put an additional presence out there with this family around their home. They have ensured that they have had levels of communication, but for the family, it has been hard for them to know and trust everything because of all of the disinformation. And it made it hard for a lot of people to even trust law enforcement in this situation because of what was going on. It was one moment that we thought that the police chief made a statement regarding the case. Then we find out that's a lie. right? The family saw an autopsy report. You know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, because of my experience and growing up in the funeral home industry, I know that it's impossible to have an autopsy report, you know what I mean, something like that to be released in the matter of 2 days, right? So we was able to dispel that really quick, right? You know what I mean? And we knew that that was never going to be the avenue that the Collin County Medical Examiner would release that information, right? And so it made it very hard. So what we've asked them to do is increase their presence. We've asked them for a direct contact for the family to be able to send them the information that is when they're getting it, you know, that they have a point of contact to be able to do this. You know, their home address has been shared, you know what I mean? The hate, you know, there's a lot of stuff that people are saying in regarding their son that are false. You know what I mean? You would think, based on what is online, you would think that Karmelo Anthony is a person who is like, you know what I mean, a hooligan or somebody that doesn't have a home or structure or foundation or all of these different types of things. There's been a whole bunch of lies, like Karmelo Anthony was put out of his home days before. Just stupidity. They are all false and lies. And so, you know what I mean? It's just some of those things that the family knows, and things that were expressed. Like, the family know they got to the bus to do that because Karmelo Anthony's car was at his school. You know what I mean? So it's these type of lies that is being expressed on social media that's making it hard for a lot of the family to even trust. So that's the reason why we had this meeting, to be able to ask, you know, answer any questions.
And just real quick though, but so what did police say that they were actually going to do? Are they going to increase
Yes.
protection for the
Yes.
family?
Yes, they accepted that. They did. And
You said in the initial letter to the city that you raised serious questions about the thoroughness and fairness of the investigation, saying that you guys have spoken to coaches and other people that witnessed it and that they didn't follow up with them. Were you able to have that conversation with the assistant chief and resolve that?
I was able to have that question, and we were able to give those individual names up, because the Next Generation Action Network do not want to interfere in the investigation. We're not going to release who they are, but we were able to have that conversation today. You know what I mean? That's what prompted them to even be able to come. And also, we not only talked about people who were speaking out, like that had information regarding the case, we also reported people in official capacities, like people who are teachers, government officials, that have used their own personal social media to placate in the hate and the false narratives that are coming out against Karmelo Anthony. And we were able to report that information to them regarding it.
Do you still
I see that the numbers is going down due to, I guess they don't want to hear all the information. So what I'm gonna do, so we can keep it pushing, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, so whoever want to look at it on their own, that's what I'll do. So let me just put that link in there. I'll watch it on my own. Let me put the link in there. All right, so I can see, due to, I guess they don't want to hear the information, or they probably seen it already. So it's either or. But I get it, the momentum of the live, I get it. So I have to pay attention to that as well. So, but we'll watch that another time. But anyway, again, even if y'all drop out now, hit the like button before y'all bounce, and share before y'all bounce, and ain't gonna hurt nobody. But let's go to Instagram. Twitter. Let's go there. But you see how he just said about teachers and professionals and stuff like that has been spewing hate on it. This is what I'm saying, man. Relax, Mike. I'm really trying to hold myself back, but I wrote something. I wrote a couple of things down. Let me do that. The double standards. Karmelo has a pick with a gun. He's a thug. We got Austin, same thing. He's hunting, right? Austin violated Karmelo's space and touched him and his belongings. It was warned first. He was warned first, but somehow he was in the right. You see the logic that some of these Caucasian people from their society, and I'm trying to be humble and respectful as much as possible, even though y'all know I don't give a fuck. But when they feel like, they have this notion and this bravado that they are smarter than black people, right? That their neurons is fine quicker than minds, right? They're the smartest people, and we just some dumb, low IQ kind of people. Fine, that's cool. Me personally, I like to hold them to that standard. All right, you're smart, right? You're smarter than me. You're smarter than all my people. Okay, let's stick with that, Mr. Smarty Pants or Mrs. Smarty Pants. Okay, now let's test your intellect. But when you test the intellect, you come to find out there is some calcified pineal gland mother effers. I done talked to a lot of them. I've been looking for knowledge for a long time, so I had a lot of conversations, I don't even want to say debates, but just rational dialogue, and it just seemed like most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, most of them just don't have it. It's something in their brains that literally keeps them from taking accountability. It's almost an innate trait that's in their mitochondrial DNA, the X and Y chromosomes. It seems like it's just built in them that they can't take accountability for anything. One-sided individuals, when they be like, well, I'm not racist, I have a black friend, this and the third. Okay, cool, all right. But their views on race in certain situations like this show you, like, it's like, what do y'all talk about in your house? What is this conversation like? Make sure you never admit to the truth. You don't care, Brad, Tony, Chrissy, Maria, Joanne, Beth, Hank, Frank, Bobby, Tommy, Jody, Cody. Never admit to the truth. Always be double standard. Never be logical. And if you ask a black person a question about race and they answer it with perfection that deserves an agreement, go to the next question. Dodge it. Be very strategic when you conversate with these Negroes, because some of them have a good mind. Some of them are very on point and logical and very technical with information. So you have to make sure that you are consciously avoiding taking accountability. That's what happens. You prime example. Just like if you look at a talk show, or whatever, or a news show, they got. I don't like D.L. Hughley, but I'm just gonna give him an example that just popped up in my mind. But if they interviewing him or whatever, and they on their platform and they asking about race, and just say D.L. Hughley spit that right shit that recommends an answer that deserves. You're absolutely right. You never get that. They go to the next question. Always move the goalposts. This is America. That is never going to change. Never going to change. That's why, respectfully, I don't trust y'all, man. I don't give a fuck how much you help me in business or whatever. I'm going to treat you accordingly. I know innately. I be at work, son. Son, I be at work. These dudes be coming in there with their white girls. I swear to God, when they see me, not saying like I'm the handsomest nigga on the planet. I don't even rock like that. That ain't my type of style. I ain't like that. You know what I mean? They will make sure that they block their view. It be so insane. They are very jealous when a black man is around. I swear I always do this. We all know that. Even with a black woman, it's vice versa. They are so intimidated with your presence, man. They are so intimidated with your presence. A white girl came, what was that, yesterday? Before she was with her boyfriend, she walked by and said hi. I didn't even know. I be ignoring people. I don't like people. So I talk, but I have to talk to customers, but I don't like people. So I don't fucking talk to people unless I have to. How you doing? I looked up. Hi, how you doing? And her little boyfriend was behind her. She come back, asked me a question, but the way she was asking me was, you know what I mean? Why the boyfriend behind her, they just looking at me why you looking at me like that? Look at her, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, I would slap fucking lice out of his hair. But I say all I have to say, they are very intimidated with our presence. So fucking jealous. We can't have nothing. They don't want us around, but then they in our business. We did Black Wall Street. We had our own oil rigs. You know, we had our own oil. Look at the footage. We had our own oil rigs. We was digging water, drilling water. We had our own oil fields, hundreds, mad banks, mad food. We had everything there. We secluded and then still invited you over there, to get your food. You go watch movies. We had the best meats. I hate to say pause. The food, it tastes better on this side of the tracks. They were so hateful and jealous. Hateful, jealous people. But they say, get out of here. But they always did. It's almost like they'll be right over the fence like this. Looking over the fence, seeing what was going on. Y'all don't want us to go nowhere. It's either you do, you damn if you do, damn if you don't. Y'all never satisfied. And then when we speak the truth, we're violent, we are hyperactive, uncontrollable emotions. No, I'm just tired of you niggas. Like I'm tired of you. I'm so tired of your presence, man. I am. I'm tired. Y'all want us to go somewhere? Put these niggas on their own island, and guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna eat each other and they're gonna wipe each other out. I'm just thinking that's the right word. I'm so exhausted with your presence. And then they be coming there thinking they important, like somebody need to talk to you. I be hurting their feelings. I'm so good. I love myself. I'm starting to really, really love me more and more every day because I have peace now. I'm so much. I'm enjoying my peace. I really am. I'm doing my little studying shit behind the scenes and all that shit. That's why I'm doing. I'm enjoying my me time. I love me. But I am so good at ignoring people. Sometimes I be feeling sorry that I consciously hurted their feelings because I don't want to look in your face. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to say hi. You expect me to say hi. All the other niggas, they be like, hey, Ms. Johnson. Man, get the fuck out of it. I pay them no fucking mind. None of them. I swear, your presence means nothing to me. And I hate to sound like this, man. I hate to be this way, but this is how I rock. Fuck your presence. I don't even want to say hi to you. But the only ones I love my elders. One thing I love is my elders. So some white people, I help them. Some, not all, because I think like you probably was one of them at them barbecue, those lynchings, man. This is the South, bro. This is North Carolina. It was slavery in this town I'm in. It's a cotton field literally right there. Right out that window. This window right there, it's a cotton field right there. Right there. Nigga, right there. I could run, do a somersault flip, double, triple back, gymnastic flip, and land right on a damn thorn with cotton on it. But any motherfucking who, let's get right to it. Y'all know I talk too fucking much. But I am not a racist. Reality and being amongst this world and the double standardness and all that, it just made me not, it just made me like this. All of us can relate. All of us, all of us is right here. Fuck y'all not important, man. And I hate, I don't care. Go. Yo, this nigga, yo, a Caucasian and his girlfriend came onto my aisle, came by me. Yo, I don't know if it was the girl or the boy. They smelled so bad. They didn't look like how they smelled. I'm like, you came outside smelling like that. I had to get the fuck away from there for somebody to think that's me. Ew, I'm dead serious. They didn't even look like they stink, but they smelled like, oh Lord. Yeah. Let me stop right now because y'all know I go way further than that. But all my fellow Caucasian people out there, all of y'all don't think the same like the rest, like your family and all that. Some of y'all some good ones out there, man. But y'all never gonna go against the grain. Y'all on the winning team. The police, FBI, all of that is your military. You have backup. The judicial system is your backup. I get it. If I was white, I'd probably be acting the same. To be honest, be on the winning team. I get it. But God blessed us for being on the opposing team. And I love being black. If I die, come back, I want to come back black. But we tired of your ass too. And I just don't care about y'all presence like that. So that's it, man. Before I say the wrong, I already probably said the wrong shit already, but y'all have to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all is not all that. I am not sorry, but all right. And then look, all of the news that came out, and we got. I'm just looking at the title, the caption. Why are blacks always defending criminals? And we have to get rid of the weeds. I don't even know what he's gonna say, but I saved it for us to watch in real time. Let's see what this coon ass nigga's about to say.
Why are blacks always elevating and protecting and coddling criminals? That's the question that I asked myself in the wake.
You hear this? You hear that? That's. We know what's up, man.
This Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation. I don't need to go into it. You know exactly what it is. But literally, think about Michael Brown. Think about Breonna Taylor. Think about George Floyd. Now, when you look at the facts of all of these cases, okay, not what the media was pushing out, but the actual facts of all of these cases, you know that there was criminality involved in every single one of those cases.
We have a bigger threat, and it's people that look just like us, and I really don't want to go there, but we have coons in our lineage, in the Black American lineage. Yep. But we always point them out and expose them. You know what I mean? But other people from other cultures, it's almost like they agree with their coons. I don't even think this dude is a if he's Black American. Let me see. Let's see. Hold on. Let's do an examination. Rob Smith. So he got a black name, because you know they be changing the name. That's him right there. I've seen it. These dudes definitely from somewhere else, homie. Anyway, I'm not gonna bore y'all, but I'm just tired of these. Yo, we got a long way to go. Let's go to the racist post. That's what I'm here for. Okay, when Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself, people who literally said that they were going to kill him. Liberals wanted him to not rot in prison. When Karmelo Anthony stabbed someone in the heart for touching his backpack in his body and threatened him and all of that stuff, liberals want him free. But liberals want him free. I understand that one. Okay, we got Gizmo. Check it out. I may lose some followers for saying this, but I don't give a shit. Every day I see this photo and it pisses me the F off. Karmelo is not a victim. He's an evil piece of shit that deserves to spend the rest of his life behind bars. In my opinion, this piece of trash went to the high school track meet with a knife, sat under the school's tent on purpose, and was looking for trouble. This defense fundraiser keeps widening the goalposts, and it's fucking disgusting. I kind of question that myself too. It was like 100. It was the goal was 100,000, and then once you get 100,000, you go to 200, 150, and then now it's 300. And I think it's for the defense. And I'm not even gonna lie. I'm thinking it's probably the lawyers, whoever that's gonna be his legal defense team is probably asking the to ante up some more money. I don't know, man. I'm not even, and you know what's crazy? To be honest, right now, let's not count their pockets. They want 300,000. Let's give it to them so he can get out. They do it to their own murderers. They back up their own people. And look how he's saying he's disgusted, moving the goalpost, and it's effing disgusting. Imagine him saying that. Knowing a lot of these mother effers, Daniel, whatever, I forgot his last name, that killed, what's the name? The dude on the New York train, the mentally disturbed dude, he got close to $1 million. Kyle Rittenhouse got mad bread. David Chauvin or whatever, I think he got over $1 million. He got, and there was another one that got over $3 million. I got his picture, but I don't want to find it right now. But oh yeah, and then I forgot this. Yo, about to say Kyle Rittenhouse. Anthony. He was a fucking hero. He saved a white girl from drowning. I forgot. I should have talked about this when I first got on. I literally forgot. This dude, as a youngin', saved a white girl from drowning. This dude is a hero. See, it doesn't matter. Look how little he was. You think the town don't know that he was a local hero? You don't think they still remember of how he saved a white girl from dying? You don't think they know about this story? It doesn't eat. This is what I'm saying, man. The double standard. They don't give a fuck about you, long as it falls aligned with the benefit for them, things that benefit them. Excuse me if the words is not coming out correctly at this point, but you get what the fuck I'm saying. Let me just read on the side right here, because it's I don't my reading glasses is in the room, but it says at just 14 years old, ain't he 17 years old now? So 3 years prior, and you think 3 years prior, you don't think they know that this dude he's a hero? 3 years ago, he was the hero. That need to be brought up too. At just 14 years old, he risked his own life to save a young child from drowning, a selfless act that was even recognized in the local newspaper. The recent attacks on his character, labeling him a thug for defending himself, are not only racist but blatantly false. This young man deserves better. Once he's rightfully found now guilty, I hope he can return to his loving family and continue being the positive role model and pillar in his community that he always has been. And let me just tell you this. Real quick. We're going to get right back to it. We're going to go to a couple of things. I've been on here 2 hours. I'm going to give it another half an hour because ain't nobody watching a 3 hour live. So I'm going to give it another 20, 25 minutes and I'm out. But once he get found now guilty Oh, I forgot to play this other one. Wait a minute. Before I lose track. See? Hold on. I got something else. Somebody broke it down too. Hold on, soldier. Let me find it real quick. Let me scroll. Not that one. Hold on. Let me get it right for y'all. I saved it. Did I save it on? I still know the point that I'm about to make. All right, I got that. After this, I'm gonna play this. This is great. I'm gonna play this. Then we go back to what's the name? They know he's a local hero. 3 years ago, he just saved a white person's life, a white girl at that. A Brittany, a Cindy, a Amber saved her, like King Kong saved her, and like this holding on to the Empire State Building, and she right here on his hand, like, you know what I mean? Once he's found now guilty, they still going to receive death threats. The people in the community is still going to change on him. The police is going to hold that against his family. A whole bunch of shit is going to start happening to them. Yo, it just came to my fucking brain. I don't know if y'all remember. Donye, I forgot what town it was. I interviewed his mother. He was lynched by white people in her backyard. She was in the crib sleep while her son was being hung on a tree in her backyard. Literally in her fucking backyard while she sleep, her son is being hung on a tree. Police was stopping the brother at the store, threatening the police. You remember that, right, Nicole? I interviewed the family. I hope she's okay because she was getting threatened every fucking day. Police, unmarked cars, is sitting in front of her house all day and threatening her other son. While he's going to work, he's getting pulled over and they threatening to kill him. This is America, my G. This is what we endure, like Dominic and Alexander said. And I wrote this down earlier too, because I seen it in the comment. Black people don't play the race card. We live it. We live this shit. Nobody can't tell us nothing. Yes, she was an activist. I forgot her name. Her name was Tiffany something, right? I think it started with a T. We live this shit. We don't play the race card. Y'all play the race card because that's the only thing y'all got. We live this shit, man. We don't play that shit. We live it. I'm just tired of motherfuckers. Really. But let's listen to this. 6 minutes, but he's dropping some shit. I'm pretty sure y'all seen this shit already. But let's go.
Breaking news coming out of Texas this afternoon. Today, the full day, there has been a lot of commotion, a lot of movement with the Karmelo Anthony case. I'm going to break it down for you, so bear with me, okay? I'm going to cover a lot of ground. All right, so let's start with the defense team. This is Billy Clark. He was born in Waco, Texas. He grew up in Texas, and then he went off to the Air Force. He served his country for over 20 years in the Air Force. He's a respected, honored veteran, and then he went to law school. He graduated law school, and he started his own law firm, the Billy Clark law firm in Dallas. Second, we have Kim T. Cole of the K. Cole Law Firm. That is also in Dallas, the second law firm. She will be also representing Karmelo Anthony, and Miss Cole is no stranger to publicity. If you remember back in 2015, she was the attorney who represented a 15-year-old by the name Dejaria Bedcon. If you recall, that was the teenager, the 15-year-old, who was accosted by a McKinney police officer back in 2015 at a pool party. There was a male Karen that lived in the subdivision. He didn't like all the kids there, so he called the cops. Cops show up. They start slamming kids. This officer, Eric Casebolt, he slammed this 15-year-old little girl to the ground. He shoved his knee in her back and her neck, and it made headlines, right? All these kids were accosted by the Now, Eric Casebolt, he resigned. He's somewhere in the world serving as a police officer, unbeknownst to that community, because that's how cops roll. But Degeria, she filed a lawsuit and the city settled out of court, the city of McKinney. Now remember, this is the culture in that area where the stabbing took place, because this is McKinney that this incident took place in 2015. That's just literally 15 minutes away from Frisco. Now, an official statement was released by the family and the law firms today. So I'm going to read that for you, and I want you to pay real close attention, okay? So the criminal defense attorneys are Billy Clark and Kim T. Cole Law, which represent Anthony, according to a press release. Now, they stated, Karmelo and the entire Anthony family are sincerely saddened that a life was lost and offer their condolences to the family of Austin Metcalf. The press release states, Karmelo, like all citizens of the United States, is entitled to a fair and impartial legal process, which we are committed to ensuring that Karmelo's rights are indeed protected throughout each phase of the criminal justice system. Now, pay real close attention. Clark and Cole plan to work with the Collin County District Attorney's Office seeking an agreement to reduce Anthony's $1 million bond and a better determination of the filed charge, the release states. It also goes on to say this will certainly be a long road ahead, and during this challenging time, we ask for prayers for both families, and we ask for your patience and respect for the legal process as we seek the truth, the release states. Now, we go back and it says a better determination of the filed charge of what they're looking for, and they're going to work with the Collin County, which means the charge of first-degree M, it's going to change, okay? So what could it change to? It could change to second-degree M, it could change to manslaughter, or it could change to this, right? This is criminally negligent homicide. Now, criminally negligent homicide carries 180 days to 2 years in state jail felony, right? And you have to look at this, and this has the best definition of the case, but it's going to be downgraded. It's for certain. It's going to be downgraded, and I'll tell you why. So, criminally negligent homicide is classified as a state jail felony, meaning it is less severe felony than a prison felony, okay? Now, the definition of this is criminally negligent homicide occurs when someone causes the death of another person through criminal negligence, meaning they should have known their actions could cause harm. And that's about it. That criminally negligent, he knew that somewhere in his mind that he could have caused harm by doing what he did. So they're looking for a bond reduction, right? And it will come down off of the $1 million. The judge is working with the Collin County DA and the Frisco Police Department. Now, this is one thing that people are not talking about, but it was said by witnesses. When the police showed up, they started taking cell phones, all right? All the kids there were recording. Now, if that is true, allegedly, if that happened, that means the police have the video now. Now, there's a lot of speculation of this, of that, of the a brawl, a melee, what took place, what was said, the phone, property. There's a lot of speculation, but let's just deal with facts, okay? The facts are this happened. Somebody lost their life. Somebody had a knife, right? These are all facts. But there's another fact, and it's allegedly that there is video. Now, if the police have that video, they are breaking it down frame by frame by frame. They're going to give it to the DA. Then the DA is going to give it to the grand jury, but a judge is also going to look at this and see if they have probable cause. Because if that video shows something than what the media narrative painted at the beginning, oh, there are a lot of issues. But this is going to go through all the steps. But those charges are going to come down, especially if there's video to back it up. Now, this is not speculation. This is what witnesses have said, that there was video, but no video has come out because the police have it. And the police haven't released an official statement. So we just have to hold on at this moment.
Yeah, man, that's crazy right there. Yeah, for sure. Let me move that. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we gonna see what's gonna happen, man. I'm gonna play a couple of videos and I'm getting out of here because I gotta work tomorrow too. I'm off Thursday and Friday, so I'll be back Thursday. Shit, I'm tired too. Shit, I ain't gonna hold you. Shit, I got off, came right home. I ain't relaxed. I just got on, went live with y'all. But I'm gonna play this though. Look at this. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Look. I know y'all seen this before, but you see that wrong, right, or indifferent, they're gonna always see us as a threat and gonna always see us as an enemy. See, black people, we are so morally conscious to a default. If we know that a person of our hue did wrong, we're gonna hold his ass to the fire, regardless. That's us. That's one thing we can't say. We definitely make sure that our own people take accountability for our shit. You know what I mean? If a black person did something wrong to a white dude, we're gonna hold that black man accountable, especially in the public. We're gonna do that, right? We have to change that because I'm telling you, not all of them, but 99.9% of them literally have these discussions and is literally embedded into the fabric and DNA of those people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's for y'all to decide. Only thing I can say is we should do the same motherfucking thing. Look at the dude at the end. I'm pretty sure y'all seen this shit already, but this dude, Brad, I'm gonna call him Brad for right now. Him, Brad, and Cody, the other white dude, they cool, man. Cool dude. Salute to them. It's the older dude at the end.
Hey, you're a very personable guy. I can tell, like, just talking to you right now, you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're like, no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Right, maybe.
A little more to the right. See the TV at least.
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so we'll go to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro, you don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe. Hey, can you just move, bro? Please.
No, hey, bro, it's okay. Just move.
He doesn't.
But and you see how confident, and this is what I'm saying, when they in the crowd, when they're around mostly their people, you're gonna get a dickhead like that because they feel comfortable. Do you think if it was him, I don't even know his name, I'm gonna call him Quantavius and little Nook and Tay Tay and Spot 'em Got 'em and Dirty Duran over here, just saying a whole bunch of niggas. You think he'd be over there saying that shit? Come on, man.
It's okay, move, but I don't mean to be but I know, but you have to talk to like that. No. I'm saying this my guy though, bro. Like, no, but hey, no, but bro, you cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move? It's just respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He's just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. Hey,
let's just respect each other, bro. For sure.
I'm not trying to be. No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's in the fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can see
he didn't have to cuss at him though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem?
No, he just.
Hey, back up. What's the problem?
No, he just cussed.
Yo, back up. What's your problem? Back up. What's your problem?
Come on, bro. No,
he said y'all get up. He asked you to get up. Hey, what's the problem?
Is he drunk? Because if he's drunk, then it's okay. I'm not. Okay.
Yeah.
Not even trying to rationalize what's going on, try to get to the bottom of it to see what's going on. You're the absolute threat.
We're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing.
And he's still speaking respectively. Still, and he has to be a salmon, like that shirt.
He just cursed at him like he was a child. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't
it's over, buddy.
You know?
No, it's over, buddy.
I'm just explaining to you.
Let me tell you something right now. This is why, man. This is why I'm not going to end this live on that note. Just fuck you, man. That's pretty much it, man. They live by it. I treat people accordingly, man. I'm a loving guy. I love all kinds of people. I don't care where you from. Just have respect. And you can't expect to be licked. I don't know if that's even coming out right. From a wolf or from a snake or a cobra. Expect to get bitten. Expect the worst. That's just that. That's just that. That's just that. Emotionless, mean-spirited, one-sided, egotistical, parasitic, barbaric, virus. Just a virus. Just a virus of the planet, man. That's it.